that big ship, Goku takes the nap, right? You can reverse engineer this stuff, so that's fine. But still, no representation for God Ki there. And the other big character in that movie, Gohan, has first his ultimate form. Now, if you're a Dragon Ball Super manga reader, I believe there's no reason to believe that Ultimate Gohan is close in power to Blue Goku and Blue Vegeta, like there is in the anime version, where the narrator directly states that Ultimate Gohan and Goku rival each other, though clearly Blue Kaioken is stronger. But even in the Dragon Ball Super manga, you can't deny that Ultimate Gohan, with a couple of years of off-screen training for the most part, is rivaling Blue Goku and Vegeta in Ultimate when he goes to rescue Pan, since he's doing better against the Gammas than Piccolo was, right? And the Gammas are supposed to be on this Goku Vegeta tier arbitrarily, which should again mean Super Saiyan Blue. So that's just an old transformation that's catching up to the power of these God Ki transformations that are after years and years of training, by the way. We are way past Resurrection F levels of power for Goku and Vegeta. And then you get Beast Gohan, which is not only rivaling the God Ki transformations themselves, but the God Ki godly technique transformation, seemingly on a level near, at least. Whether you think it's above or below, I don't really give a shit for this video. But Beast Gohan is clearly near the level of Ultra Instinct Goku, which is near the level of Ultra Ego Vegeta in some capacity. Again, whichever one you think is stronger, weaker. I think Goku's probably stronger, but still. Both of them are these godly techniques they had to learn from a god of destruction, an angel, divine beings, only one of each in the universe. And Beast Gohan just sort of happens. He doesn't even have God Ki, and God Ki is just such a weird concept in Dragon Ball because it's so underutilized in every single aspect. Like, okay, we went through all the main cast that don't have God Ki. At least there's going to be a little bit of God Ki or God Energy or God Power, Divine Power. I can't remember. The translation, or at least the phrasing in maybe even Japanese in the Dragon Ball Super manga changes a lot in the Moro arc for this type of energy. But at least Oob had some of that juice in him, and it was like supposed to be a big deal. So it seems like it could still play a part. Maybe Toyotaro will come in and save God Ki. I would love that. Toyotaro, my blessing to you if you can manage that. But it does seem like at this point, it's almost unsalvageable, because who even has God Ki on the villain side of things, right? We already went over Frieza, and talking about not just villains, antagonists in general. In the Tournament of Power, you have Toppo, and that's it. In the manga, I think Toppo uses his God Ki just like in his base form. He doesn't transform or anything. But in the anime, of course, he turns into this like God of Destruction form, whatever. They both use some form of Divine Ki. Great, but that's it. Out of 80 fighters, 70 of which not being Universe 7, only one, as far as I can remember, uses God Ki. Okay? Arc before that, Goku Black and Zamasu. Great, God Arc. Okay, cool. We have 2 God Ki users. Fantastic. We're using them there, but it's not used to great effectiveness, right? In the Dragon Ball Super manga, and I guess even the anime to some point, Zamasu is garbage, right? He's like trash tier compared to the main fighters of that arc. He is not competing. He is not putting in work. Goku's like, yeah, Trunks could handle you. It's not great. And Trunks is like using Super Saiyan 2 in the manga, you know what I mean? He's just a nothing figure. So even him having God Ki doesn't help the case. It'd actually be better if he didn't have God Ki, and him activating his God Ki or learning to use more of his God Ki made him strong enough to compete, maybe. I don't know. Super Saiyan Rage Trunks is actually another thing to think about, because Super Saiyan Rage Trunks is like not God Ki, maybe. Possibly it's a God Ki infused. No one knows, because no one will f***ing explain it. Then before that, you have the Universe 6 tournament, where Hit doesn't have God Ki. I guess that's the only one that matters. Everyone else is relatively weak compared to Goku and Vegeta, of course, but Hit being able to even compete against people with Super Saiyan Blue is kind of yikes for God Ki as a concept. Again, this is the 3rd arc after it was quote-unquote introduced. You know, obviously the movies came out first, but the retellings are the same thing, right? It's not extra time. You get what I mean. And those are just the villains in the Dragon Ball Super anime. If we talk about things like the manga-only villains, I don't think Granola or Gas were stated to use God Ki. They use some godly techniques, like a form of destruction, or it looks like Hakai, right? Destruction, but no God Ki as far as I'm aware. And I think Moro may have been stated. I just could be misremembering. I'm doing this off the cuff, so I'll put something on screen if I'm right or wrong. Moro, when he copied Maris's abilities, was using God Ki. So that's something, but that was more so him copying Ultra Instinct and Angel Power than specifically using God Ki to amp himself up further. And then, of course, Broly doesn't use God Ki at all.